Good evening, my fellow classmates. For a discussion, I chose to discuss the importance of Puritanism in American founding. You will recall in Mark Ano's book, which is our textbook in this course, entitled A History of Christianity in the United States and Canada, that Mark Ano declared that despite popular impression, the Puritans did not arrive in North America first. Their fellow Englishmen, the state church Episcopalians, arrived first. According to Noe, by the time Puritan established Massachusetts, there were already two other English colonial ventures that had secured a foothold in the New World. For example, in Virginia, the founding of Virginia had a more secular character than the founding of Plymouth in Massachusetts Bay. This is because the Virginia Company of London was more interested in turning a profit than the Massachusetts Bay Colony. Also, the dispersed pattern of settlement of Virginia was not favorable to the close spiritual fellowship that was not possible in the northern English colonies. However, although Virginians were not entirely Puritan, some of the religious impulses that inspired the settlers in the North were also at work in Virginia. In Plymouth, Puritanism was much more prevalent. These Puritans were settled in Plymouth and wanted to establish a separate colony for themselves, and rather than contending in England for the thorough reform of the church and the religious life of the nations. These pilgrims secured the sponsorship of English merchants and Virginia Company, eventually boarded the Mayflower on September 6, 1620, for the New World. They sailed for Virginia, but were blown off course to Cape Cod, where they arrived in November. They decided to stay, but before they left the ship, the male passengers signed an agreement, or Mayflower Compact that is, in which they mingled motives of the venture were reflected as such. And I quote, "Having undertaken for the glory of God and advancement of the Christian faith and honor of our king and country, a voyage to plant the first colony in the northern parts of Virginia, do by these presents solemnly and mutually in the presence of God and one another, covenant and combine ourselves together into a civil-bodied politic for our better ordering and preservation and furtherance of the aforesaid, and by virtue hereof to enact, constitute, and frame such just and equal laws, ordinances, acts, constitutions, and offices from time to time as shall be thought most meet and convenient for the general good of the colony, unto which we promise all due submission and obedience. In witness whereof we have hereunder subscribed our names at Cape Cod, the 11th of November, in the year of the reign of our sovereign Lord King James of England, France and Ireland the 18th, and of Scotland the 54th, Anno Domini 1620. The record of the Puritans in New England has dominated modern perceptions of America's religious past. The following are the reasons why. Number one, the Puritans had leaders with dominant personalities such as Governor John Winthrop, the Reverend John Cotton, and Reverend Cotton Mather. These leaders were involved in important events. Number two, the religious influence was very strong in the governments of early England without intending to. Massachusetts and its fellow Puritan colonies advanced the cause of democracy. Number three, the religious influence was very influential in the Salem witch trials. Number four, the Puritans left a full writing record of their thoughts and actions. Number five, most importantly though, the Puritan moral vision was so strenuous that almost all Americans since have been forced to react to it in some way. Throughout the mid-19th century, Puritan morality was widely thought to provide the foundation for great success in the United States of America. How important was the Puritans in American founding? I will answer that. I would submit to you that although the Puritans were not the first religious group to touch the American soil, They were, however, extremely influential in the spread of Christianity in America, which cannot be overlooked, you see. Thank you so much.